3 months ago, I lost my job. That's basically it. Basically, the new year started off strong, and a couple of months later, I lost my job. And in probably the last 10 years, this is probably the toughest time that I've been through and that I've experienced. So I wanted to explain what happened and how I lost my job. So a lot of things have, of course, happened internally in the organization that I worked with, and because of those changes that happened internally, I was a part of that change. Um, Unfortunately, that was the decision that was made on my fate for that company, and I was let go of. Now, a lot of people might be looking at this and saying, okay, well, you at least gotten your package, you've gotten unemployment, and whatnot. The thing is that when you are the primary household provider for your wife and for your kid, especially, and your father, and you're trying to make sure everybody's well fed, everybody's supported properly, and whatnot, it kind of irks you and hurts you in different ways. Um, One thing was I cried a lot during this time. Um, I was an emotional wreck for for the first week, and to the point was I didn't even have time to even reflect on what happened because I just jumped in right away and doing side gigs and Uber Eats and whatnot. What I mean by Uber Eats, by the way, is Uber Eats delivery. But not only that, looking at my daughter and saying, okay, here's what I can budget for her diapers. Here's what I can budget for her formula. Here's what I can do this and that. And before I had a free hand on doing these things and loading up on diapers, loading up on formula and whatnot. Now it's like, okay, you're counting your dollars and to survive for the next month. Um, and then of course there's other expenses as well, the car, insurance, rent, everything else to run the household, as you know. So basically I said to myself, you know what? I could find another job. And that was the mindset that I had. But I realized that every single job that I applied to, yes, I was getting interviews, but it seemed like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. I was either getting in last stages or second last stages and being rejected, or some companies would just utterly waste my time with like their own assessments and whatnot. And I did it and I submitted it and that was it. So that was very exhausting. But I said to myself, I need to keep going and I need to keep applying and I need to keep trying. And I never gave up at all. So so that's what I did. And then on the other side was okay, I'm applying for jobs now. I'm getting the interviews. Hopefully something would stick. What do I do in the meantime? So then I was doing Uber Eats. That was the quickest way at that time that I could find money and that I could make money. And boy, does it not make you any money at all. I would be driving literally 3, 4, 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day. Okay. Even longer just to make 200, 250 bucks, 150 if I'm lucky. And I would bring that home and I would be dead tired. And my wife would be like, you're not at home. And she understands that, but she's watching the kid. She's like, I have to do a lot of things in the home as well. She's like, I miss you. She's like, we don't do anything together, whatnot. And I would apologize. And then I would go in the bathroom and I would cry. I would go in the room and I would cry. And then I would look at my video games that I have, my computer that I have, everything that I have, and I never had the time to play it because I was constantly trying to stress and work and make money to bring to the household. So just a quick story about what happened to me, especially during this Uber Eats delivery stuff like that. So basically, it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I had an Uber Eats order for McDonald's for a customer. Okay, with tip, it was coming up to like $8, $9. So the distance was probably like maybe 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, something like that. So, anyways, I picked up the McDonald's order from the restaurant and I went to that place and I couldn't see any of the signs that said, okay, you can't park here. There's a fire route or whatever the case is. I parked my car, I put the hazard lights on, and basically the customer was like, "Hey, I'll be down there. Just meet me in the lobby, whatever." I'm like, "Okay, cool." It was literally a minute. I got out of the car, got their package, their food, whatever. They were in the lobby, dropped it off. As soon as I come outside, I see a police officer writing me a ticket. And I said, "Whoa, whoa, hold on. I'm doing delivery. I'm doing Uber Eats delivery." And I said that I was just there for literally a minute or 2 minutes or something. And the cop was like, "You can fight it in court. I'm giving you a ticket." So it's $250 for that ticket. And I remember I went in the car and I cried. And I cried a lot. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm done with this day. And I remember I started 2 hours into doing Uber Eats and I was just like, I'm done. And then I literally sobbed by myself for 30 minutes in my condo at the time. And this is going to be coming to my next point, which is for those that have a job or that are in a position that they're probably maybe looking into changing jobs, or if they're under threat about losing their job, especially nowadays, you need to make sure that you have multiple streams of income coming in consistently. And I think one thing that helped me stay afloat was having my side gig as business as for a photo booth. So I run a side business at a photo booth as a side business, and a lot of people were booking events during this time. So for their weddings, parties, stuff like that, and that was bringing in some pretty decent money that I was able to pay bills with. Originally, that was meant for us to, my wife and I, to have savings. So ideally, we can save that up for our down payment for a house or for our daughter's education and stuff like that. And unfortunately, did not start off as on the right foot in regards to that goal, but we saw the return of investment. Um, we obviously spent our own money into this early in the year, so we started early in the year, and then we started getting events like April, May, June, and even now. So my advice to everybody is that if you have a job, don't just rely on that job. Try to branch out to other things. Try to invest in certain things. Try to take risks. Try to start new side business, whatever the case is. Do service gigs, for example, for other organization, or your own service gig. Do something that you can bring multiple streams of income into your pocket. And especially when you're young, you have the energy. Once you get old, you won't have that energy anymore, right? And you want to make sure that you and your old age, if you even make it to your old age, you would be able to at least live a contentful life. And I'm talking about this for like normal people. Um, and then that's basically it. That's basically what I wanted to share, is that this is why I have not been playing video games and whatnot for a while. The current situation right now is that I found a new job. In June, I started in June. I love what I do. I also moved into a new place as well. I promised my wife, I said, listen, I know we're going through a hard time, but I said that once I find a job, you said you wanted to move into a new place, so I want to do that for you. Um, so literally, I got the job, and then literally a week later, we moved. Um, and that's it. That's basically it. Wanted to share that story, and I wanted to give a final piece of advice to everybody that's going through a similar situation like I am, going through job loss and trying to find another job and whatnot. Keep at it. Keep going. Keep hunting. Network. Talk to people. Respond to people's posts on LinkedIn. Message in the actual posting itself. Do whatever you can. Call everybody that you know, even people that you've like literally said hi to, like in a previous workplace. If you have their number, call them up and say, "Hey, this is my situation. I need to find a job." You cannot put your ego in front of you and be like, "Oh, I have my own self respect," or whatever. Get the help that you can, and try to fight for yourself, and you deserve that. Um, and last but not least is just keep going. Do not give up. Do not ever get destroyed by, rejections and whatnot. Some of it could be ridiculous, but you got to keep going, and you deserve that. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Um, I'm back. I'm back and doing what I'm doing. Looking forward to obviously speaking about other, topics and whatnot as well. But I wanted to share that. So, anyways, take care. And if you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Take care and bye bye.